Fellow Ambazonians, good morning, good afternoon, good evening across the globe. This is Pascal speaking, the logistic chief of the ADF, Ambazonian Defense Forces. I came here today to touch on Norway and the image that they have decided to take globally as a supporter of Ambazonian genocide. To also talk about the recent happenings at the Warfront, and also discuss on something that I want us to really take a look at and analyze: patriotism and what it really entails. Fellow Ambazonians, we will not be bullied. We will not be intimidated. We will not be scared in fighting for the liberation of our land and in protecting our people. I still repeat, Ambazonia will not be bullied. Ambazonia is not scared. We will not be coerced. We will not be cornered, intimidated in fighting for the liberation of our land. It is our moral responsibility. Let me repeat this. It is our moral obligation to fight to take us out of oppression. I also repeat the saying from Abraham Traore, the current prophet who is in Africa, showing us how to liberate ourselves and be a free people. A slave that does not rebel deserves no pity. Fellow Ambazonians, look, Norway has been priding itself as the defender of human rights, the defender of freedoms. They've been carrying themselves around the world with a title as the beacons of human rights advocates. That they have been advocating themselves as a nation that stands for human rights, stands for freedom. They pride themselves as one of the happiest nations on planet Earth. Today, Ambazonian declares them as a land that has openly advocated for the genocide of Ambazonia. a land that has taken the side of the oppressor in fighting to maintain us as slaves, a country that has sided with the oppressor in the killing of Ambazonians. There's one question I want us to ask Norway. You take a leader, a selfless leader, fighting to protect and defend his people, the architect of self-defense of Ambazonia. You jail him for no reason. Have you been bribed? What is your take? Norway and your people and your government are hypocrites. Hypocrites of the first order. You think we don't see through your scheme? The question we have to ask Norway is this. Norway that claims to be the defenders of human rights. Where was Norway when Ayub Tabe and the 9 who were run away from being killed by the Republic of Cameroon, who legally seek asylum in Nigeria, and they were asylees? Where was Norway to talk when they were picked up and taken to the Republic of Cameroon, the same land that is trying that's been trying to kill them? Did Norway stand to talk about human rights? Did Norway stand to condemn that act? You breached international laws. Did you condemn Nigeria or the Republic of Cameroon for doing that? Where is Norway when thousands upon thousands of people have been locked up in jails in the Republic of Cameroon? You don't talk about that. Where is Norway when our children are being burnt in their houses, when villages have been razed by the barbaric invading forces from a foreign nation into our own land? Where is Norway when Sam Sawyer was beheaded on camera and openly displayed? Where was Norway during the Gabu massacre? Where was Norway during all the how to call it, the massacres, the Pinyin massacre, the Kumba massacre? You were nowhere to be found. Where was Norway when Mami Api was burned in the house with? Was burned in his house, in her house? Where was Norway when Baby Mata was killed? Today, you side with the oppressor to pick up a leader that has stood up to defend his people. You jail him for no cause. You openly have proven that you stand with the oppressed. You stand with the oppressors, sorry. I've not heard you say a word on the abuse of our people by the Republic of Cameroon. But you go ahead and pick up our leader, Dr. Ayabacho, who has been fighting to protect Ambazonians from being killed. What is his crime? Preventing genocide. What is his crime? Standing for our own rights as a people. What a shame. Hypocrites. Some of these things that you how do you call it? You portray in the Western world beacons of democracy, fighters of human rights. What you say doesn't depict what you do. Norway has openly and officially declared itself as those who side with the oppressors. That's how we are going to look at you, and that's how we see you. Ambazonians see you as an oppressive regime, an oppressive nation, sorry. Gone are those days that what you say, people just take it for gospel truth. We judge you by your actions. With all the massacre happening in our territory, the burning of our villages, the attempted genocide on our people, we have not seen you openly condemn like when you Cameroon. We've seen you taking action in picking up someone that is protecting his people and preventing genocide. Hypocrites. What a shame. You go around brandishing yourself as a country that stands for human rights, a country that stands for freedoms, a country that supports democracy. So what Republic of Cameroon is practicing is democracy, right? You pick up someone, you jail him, without any reason behind. You connive with the oppressor. You connive with the oppressive regime to silence our voice. One thing should be very clear. To the Norwegian government, Ambazonians will not be bullied. We will not be intimidated. We are not scared. We are ready to fight to the last man standing to free our land. You think keeping our leader in jail is going to slow down the revolution? Whatever dirty game we are playing with the oppressor, like what you Cameroon, it will come to light. The one thing should be certain. We know you, and we will know you throughout the history of Ambazonia as a supporters of genocide or attempted genocide by the Republic of Cameroon on Ambazonia. You openly and officially stand with the oppressor. You are playing the bidding of the French. Norway is the attack dog of France. Ambazonians, you remember very well that look at some of these things that we see. People projecting themselves, or nations projecting themselves as champions of civilization. The misuse. When you look at what they call civilization, and you look at their behaviors, it doesn't match the definition of civilized nation. Gone are those days when you intimidate Africans or feed your narrative on us as a race of people. Gone are those days. We can think for ourselves, we know what is right. We don't need anybody to validate whether we have to be free or not. We will be free. I want to take this time to really congratulate the fighting forces of the great state of Bui and Dunga Mountain Division. We hear you, we see you. The joint collaborative action that you took recently, flushing out a terrorist outpost who were there intimidating and extorting our people. The extortion of our territory for the past 60-something years is being slowed down, and we are pushing out the enemy. The ADF fighting forces, together with their sister forces, did flush out a particular terrorist cell in Biam. That was a joint collaborative work. And I want to tell our fighters, when you collaborate, you minimize casualties. When you collaborate, you are stronger than the enemy. I believe that the fighters have come to understand what we've been trying to advocate. Thank you so much. These people have resorted to extortion, intimidation, terrorism in our land. We're not going out to meet them in their land to fight them. We are fighting terrorists and terrorist outposts in our territory. We will keep on flushing them. I also want to extend my thanks to the DSG of the great state of Bui and Dungaman for the great job that they carried out in Jakiri a couple of weeks ago. Dislodged a terrorist cell and their head. Congratulate the ADF forces in Bui for their sign of leadership, great work, great sign of coordination. I think also we've sent out a very clear message. Gonso, the mother of Bui, the mother of the Nsok people, will not be brought in a land that has been desecrated, will not be brought in our land by a sellout, will not be brought into our land when our land is bleeding. Gonso will not be brought into our land by someone that has sided with the oppressor in the killing of his people. They will not politicize a cultural event. We've sent out that message. All the major generals in Bui did put out a message to say that they will not allow the politicization of our mother. The founding mother of the Nsok tribe. The message has been very clear. We heard that from all major generals in the great state of Bui. I want to take this time to pay tribute to one of our greatest heroes. They call him Ye in Bui. He has been involved in all the major fights. He has been involved in all the major fights in flushing out the terrorists in Bui. This great fighter, he fell in the Battle of Jakiri. One thing that stands out about him, and he will be remembered for it, this is a fighter that went to the battlefield, fought and was shot, and just because we understand the importance of our materials, he had to give his material to his fighters, not allowing the enemy to take it. I come to pay tribute to him. He has been a great defender of our land, a great fighter. We will live to remember you as someone that stood for freedom, freedom of our people, freedom of our land. When you go, you tell Ginya, you tell Hassan, and other great fighters that the battle continues. We will continue to fight. We will carry the mantle of freedom till our land is completely free. Yeah, we thank you so much for your service to our motherland. Thank you for sacrificing and shedding your blood for our freedom. All we owe great fighters like this is to continue with the battle. We owe them one thing: the fight to free our land. That's what they died for. He has been very instrumental in most of the fighting in protecting our villages, in defending our parents, defending our homes. You will be remembered for that. Thank you for your service to our motherland. We will continue to do what you have been doing before you left the world. Berita. Now, the good lesson that we have learned, particularly in Bui, with the recent combined offensive work that they carried out, is that to our other fighters across the territory of Ambazonian, when you work together, when you fight together, you minimize casualties, you overpower your enemy, and you build confidence in flushing out the terrorist cells one after another. You demoralize the terrorists and you make them to understand that there is nothing worth fighting for in our land. A lot of them have escaped and run away from their military. We know some of them in the United States. We have to continue in this spirit. Many hands do light work. The recent battle in Bui has proven that we left with little to no casualties, where we eliminated all the terrorists in that terrorist cell in Biafra. I also want to give a big shout out to our Major General in the Oku flank. They launched a coordinated attack on one of the biggest slave masters, Philemon Young's convoy, about 2 days ago, to show that there is nothing like normalcy in our territory. They inflicted a heavy assault on his convoy along the Oku axis. They demonstrated to the Republic of Cameroon that you have no say or hold over our territory. We control our land. The forces in Oku, they proved that. The question I want to ask myself is, these people who parade themselves as participants in the genocide of our people, and they are part of us, what legacy are they going to leave behind? One thing is certain, Ambazonian will be free. And there's something that I've been saying this, I will have to understand that people think it's a joke. Whatever side you choose, understand that it has an impact. And a repercussion for your future generations to come. They will be treated like, bottom feeders in our land. To the 10th generation. Those of you who think that whatever you do now has no consequences, your future generation will pay for it. You side with the oppressor to maintain us under enslavement. Know very well that you are putting a curse on your future generations in that land. Whatever you do now has a consequence for your future generation. How can someone side with the oppressor in the killing of his people? They see our blood being spilled across our territory, and they feel comfortable. Guess what? I believe that when the Republican people, the ones you are liaising with, when they sit behind, they make a mockery of. How can you sit and watch your people being slaughtered, but you side with us slaughtering your own people? There is a cost. You might think it's a joke. Your future generation, to the 10th generation, is going to pay for siding with the oppressor. To undermine our freedom, to undermine our independence. Fellow Ambazonians, there's something that just cropped. One of my very good friends sent me. I wanted us to take a look at that because it's worth watching and commenting on. If you want to see real patriotism, it is what it's all about. Something recently happened in Burkina Faso, and I want to share it with Ambazonians. And you see what genuine love for motherland means. You see what genuine patriotism means. People who know that dignity and integrity is above everything. Let me just share the video and I'll comment about it. We can talk about it.
Qui a misé 5 milliards de francs CFA pour déstabiliser Ibrahim Traoré. 5 milliards de francs CFA, il a proposé ça à des militaires de Burkina Faso pour qu'ils puissent déstabiliser Ibrahim Traoré. Chers camarades d'Afrique, écoutez cette vidéo attentivement. Hein?
Des forces de défense et de sécurité ont décliné un marché à coût de milliards. Un projet de déstabilisation qui vaut 5 milliards de francs CFA. Eh bien, les soldats ont joué le jeu du porteur de ce projet de déstabilisation jusqu'à son interpellation. L'individu mal intentionné a donc été coincé finalement hier avec ses valises pleines de billets de banque. On découvre les faits avec Bienvenue tant que ça.
C'est une affaire digne d'un film de fiction qui révèle une fois de plus jusqu'où de sinistres individus et leurs mentors sont prêts à aller pour assouvir leur soif de déstabilisation du pays afin de s'aimer le chaos pour de sombres intérêts. Il y a quelques jours de cela, un individu entre en contact avec des soldats et leur propose un marché juteux. Des actions de déstabilisation contre une très forte somme d'argent. Les éléments rendent compte immédiatement à leurs supérieurs. Instruction leur est donnée de jouer le jeu. Marché conclu, assuré de la bonne marche de son funeste projet et convaincu de sa réussite, l'individu en question mobilise la somme promise et la remise effective se fait ce vendredi 8 novembre. Plusieurs grosses valises bourrées de billets de banque. Le montant total donne le tournis. 5 milliards de francs CFA. Au moment de la remise, l'individu au funeste dessein découvre qu'il est dans la nasse. Trop tard. L'argent est remis ici au trésor en attendant d'en savoir davantage sur son origine.
What I understand a little bit about this particular piece is that this happened recently, not long ago, in Burkina Faso, where soldiers were approached by people who want to destabilize that country and propose 5 billion. The money is in their pocket, in their central bank, 5 billion CFA to destabilize Burkina Faso and to take out Ibrahim Traore. They approached the soldiers and gave them that money. What did the soldiers do? For the love of motherland, the love of their people and the love of their country, people with morality, uprightness, they approached their superiors and told them about it. What did the superiors do? Told them to play along so they can be able to pick up the culprits. We know for sure that what is happening there is something that is being orchestrated from out of their country. Players in ECOWAS and also the West trying to topple Ibrahim Traore. And let me say something. The problem is not Ibrahim Traore, it's the ideology of freedom. The West is scared that once that ideology that he is trying to implement, to inject in his people, spread across Africa, there will be a great change in dynamics on how we look at things globally. And there will be a tectonic shift in the global geopolitics. Those young men, they knew that the love for their motherland, Burkina Faso, is above 5 billion. They will not sell their consciences. They will not sell their country for 5 billion. They will not sell the vision that their leader had for their country. They get that. You see, that's a country where Blaise Compaoré that killed Thomas Sankara. Where is he now? He's in jail. There is always a cost, a consequence in trying to derail the future of a people. Kudos to those people, those soldiers in Faso, who understand what pride, integrity, dignity, nationhood means. When you build a nation with such people who understand that country first is what matters, we'll be building on a solid ground. We know that Ambazonian has been going through a very turbulent time where we have seen filth that infiltrated our revolution. Nationalists, genuine nationalists keep on fighting. The revolution is sieving itself and throwing away the charms. Those who are uncompromising, they will continue to fight for the total and unconditional liberation of Ambazonia. Dr. Yabacho is one of those. He's cut out of such cloth. You will not sell Ambazonia for pennies. We are unyielding. The egg of sea is unyielding, is uncompromising in the liberation of Ambazonia. We will not be bullied. We will not be intimidated. We will not be coerced. We are ready to shed our lives. We are ready to go to jail. We are ready to die for our people. Because we are fighting a just cause. Let me say this and let it go in record. I, as the logistic chief of the ADF, I'm not afraid to jail. I'm not afraid to die for my people. If that's the cost that it's going to take for my land to be free. to the soldiers on the ground. We have a very strong and tested leadership. We are not afraid to face whatever consequences to free our land. We stand with you, stand with us. We are unyielding, uncompromising, unapologetic in the freedom of Ambazonian. Nothing is going to scare us. We are prepared to pay the ultimate price, the ultimate sacrifice to free our land. To the Norwegian government, we call upon you from the AGOVC standpoint to release Dr. Oyabacho. You have nothing on him. Release him. You who parade yourself as a nation that stands for human rights, stands to defend the freedoms of people. What you are doing is what we call hypocrisy. We have not seen you confronted like Rory Cameron as to call yourself a beacon of democracy. We've not seen you raise a single, you have raised a voice in the killing of our people. But you pick our leader who is protecting our people. If we champion human rights and freedom, you were supposed to be standing for, how do you call it, the pact that it was signed after the genocide in Rwanda to prevent genocide, but you side with the genocidaires. You pick up a leader who is fighting to prevent genocide from happening on his people, and you jail him for no just cause. The AGOVC is calling upon Norway to release Dr. Oyabacho. We will confront anybody who stands on our pathway to freeing ourselves. Even if it means putting our lives on the line, we're ready to go down for that. We are not scared, we are not intimidated, and we will not be bullied. Nobody is going to define the terms on how we are going to live in Ambazonia. We are a people and we have that equal, unique right, like any nation on earth, to defend our people and the right of self-determination. Don't cherry-pick laws, international laws. Stop the pretense. Stop being a hypocrite. We call upon the Norwegian government to release our leader. Our people are languishing in jails, our people are being slaughtered. I don't hear you make a single statement. But then when we fight to defend ourselves, to protect our people, stop the burning of our villages, you come after our leader. We will continue to call you out, expose your hypocrisy and your pretense. Fellow Ambazonians, stay the course. We need to stand as one people to fight for our liberation. Nobody's going to do it for us. To those cheap vermin that has clocked this fight for liberation, those who pretended to have been fighting with our people and now are the ones aiding and abetting the killing of our people, aiding the enemy, shamelessly are putting their faces out there. I wonder what if you have grandchildren in the future, or your future generations, I wonder what they will say about you. Some are not still even ashamed to put their faces out there, and they are openly advocating for the killing of our people, the jailing of our people, and advocating and standing with the oppressor. The same people that stood and pretend that they are fighting to liberate you. You will not stop us. We can work as hard as possible with the enemy. Collaborators have always been a part of history. We are not different. But you will not stop the liberation of Ambazonia, the independence of Ambazonia. You might operate like cheap slots, cheap harlots now. But the state that you put is going to stick on to your future generation. Because they will be the ones who pay the price for what you are doing to our people. Those people who are collaborating with the enemy, one thing is certain. When Ambazonia is totally free, even if you are buried anywhere, we'll do two things: exhume that corpse and judge it and jail it. Or we'll take their tombstone and judge you and jail you, even though you are dead. So even at death, you will not go free. Justice will be served. Fellow Ambazonians, we have always led a very difficult fight in our continent. We showed what real democracy means and what it is when we existed as a nation. Till when they brought this machinery to decimate our economy, decimate our vision and our future. We are a resilient people. We don't give up. They thought they got us. But we have proven to them that we are unshakable. Ambazonia will be free by any means necessary. We are unapologetic and uncompromising in the liberation of Ambazonia. So our fighting force on the ground, keep on collaborating, keep on working as one. That is the only solution we have. Function like a single unit. Those poisonous, cancerous set of people that they put amongst us create chaos amongst us. We've learned a lot in the past. This goes to the soldiers. We've learned a lot in the past. We have seen what confusion amongst the fighting force have cost us. Nobody needs to tell us that. Bui recently has proven that together, when we combine our resources and function like one people to flush out a common enemy that has crossed our territory and invaded our land and is burning our villages, is killing our people. When we combine all our resources and our forces together, we minimize casualties and we successfully take out and eliminate the enemy. Bui has proven that. That should be the blueprint moving forward. Let forces come together, identify the enemy posts, flush them out. We'll take them one after another. We have time on our side. It's our land. We have not taken an inch of Cameroon's territory. We are fighting in our territory. They declared war on our territory. From north to south, they are killing our people in a specific region. We are not Cameroonians. We are Ambazonians. We are Southern, aka Southern Cameroonians. We are not like Cameroon. We are a nation that they declared war specifically on that territory. We are fighting to free our people. Nobody, even international body, has any right to decide how we are supposed to live as a people. We make that decision by ourselves. We will be free. We have time on our side. Whether this generation shall come to pass, but the spirit of freedom, independent, has come to stay in Ambazonia. You might destroy this entire generation, the next generation will get up and keep on fighting. It's just delayed. Ambazonia will be free by any means possible. And we are uncompromising. We are unapologetic. We are unyielding when it comes to that. We will not cower. We will not be bullied. We are ready to pay the ultimate price to free our land. Stand strong, fighters on the ground. Stick to each other. Work as a collective force. When you combine, when you believe in the spirit of the General Ivory, who put together forces, no matter your lineage, to flush the enemy in their terrorist cells, we triumph in most of our battles. Case in point, Bui, you have seen it, you have shown that it is possible and it's doable. We will operate under that pretext. Combine forces, combine our resources, target a particular enemy post or a terrorist cell, and we flush it out. They will find no peace in our land. The terrorism and barbarism that they have implemented in our land, we are going to stop it. We have no one to do it but us. We will not be intimidated. We will not shy away from fighting for our people. Nobody will silence us. We will stand and stay together as one people to free our land. Stay focused, stay the course. Let's continue to contribute to defend our homeland. Let's continue to contribute to support our fighters. Ambazonian will be free by any means necessary. There's one last thing I want to say to the entire world. We Ambazonians don't leave our nations and flee to other land because we want to think that the other land is better than our land. We know that when we have a free nation, we will move back. We'll have a net migration back home to build our land and live in peace, harmony, and prosperity. We are caught in this quagmire where we think that coming out is the best. No, but most of us who are out have realized that there's nowhere like home. I will say something very controversial now. During the reign of Donald J. Trump, his first election, his first reign, we did see some movement in punishing the enemy in our territory. They were kicked out of AGOA during his administration. The military cooperation between the Republic of Cameroon and the US he brought it to an end. We saw a lot of things. I mean, they had congressional hearings during his administration with regards to what is happening in our land. We pray and hope that with this new administration, he will continue to put pressure on the enemy regime and in carving a pathway for our independence. We don't come to America because we like America better than our land. If they can hear us out, we come because our land has been occupied and we have been oppressed. A free Ambazonian will curb net migration or refugee problem from Ambazonia into America. A lot of us are ready, our bags have been packed. If this current administration can advocate for the freedom of Ambazonia and work towards that, a lot of us are ready to go back home and stay in our homes, in our homeland in harmony. Our people are dying across the world because our land has been occupied by a very terrorist, barbaric regime. If the current incoming administration can be able to look into this problem as they started during his first reign, and hold the Republic of Cameroon accountable and ensure also that our land is free. We have the opportunity to become a free land. We will not be coming to America or flying across the world as refugees. We don't leave our land because we don't like it. It's because of the oppression in our territory. 90% of us in the United States are ready to go back home to a free land. If the current administration can work and hold this Republic of Cameroon terrorist regime accountable and chart a pathway for a negotiated settlement for our freedoms, we will go back home. There is no place like home. Hopefully, the incoming administration can be able to listen to us and help in the liberation of Ambazonia. We have everything that we need in our territory. A lot of us have seen that the soul is sold about moving abroad. It is not what it is. There is no place like home. Hopefully, with the incoming administration, the pressure that they are exerting on the Republic of Cameroon can continue, so we can see a free homeland. And a lot of us are ready to go back home and settle there and live our lives happily. Ambazonia will be free by any means necessary. Let's keep fighting. Nobody's going to free Ambazonia but us. We have everything that it takes to free our land. We have all the tools available to free our land. It's just coordination. And we always, from the ADF standpoint, we continue to encourage our fighters to cooperate and collaborate with other fighting forces, so we can work together to flush out the enemy in our land. We of the ACOC, we are ready to put in our all to give everything that it takes, even if it means our lives, to free our land. We will not be bullied, we will not be coerced, we will not be intimidated. Till freedom comes. Thank you. Let's stay the course.
For 300 years, millions of slaves are taken from the West African coast to work as slaves in the Americas. Many from Ambazonia and Biafra, thus connecting our will to be free with those of the Haitians, the first black republic to gain independence from France. Ambazonia is a name derived from Ambas Bay, which was a colony of freed slaves in our territory. Haiti and the Haitian War of Independence. Fueled by the ideals of the French Revolution, the Haitian Revolution begins when slaves rose up against France and its exploitation on the land of Hispaniola. Toussaint Louverture, alongside his comrade Dessalines and Christophe, made sure they took complete control of Hispaniola and the area controlled by the Spanish called Santo Domingo, present-day Dominican Republic. Toussaint declared himself Governor General for life. This angered Napoleon Bonaparte. The French Revolution sent shocking waves throughout all their territories on the planet. All the slave colonies heard the word liberté, égalité, et fraternité, and they asked themselves,